Good morning. Today I wanted to talk about student transportation here in Texas, including the basic state and district requirements for transporting students, as well as what it takes to become and stay qualified as a bus driver. While transportation is often viewed as just an auxiliary service of your campus, education is being the first one. It actually and obviously plays a huge role in student safety, student culture, their attendance, and their overall success. From a principal's perspective, even if it's not directly running the transportation department, we are still ultimately responsible for understanding how it impacts our students. To start with transportation requirements in Texas, the TEA, along with the Texas Department of Public Safety, provide the overall framework, and then local districts build their own policies within those guidelines. In most Texas districts, transportation is provided for students who live within a certain set mileage of their zoned campus. The distance can vary depending on the district, but the idea is the same, that we ensure that all students who qualify have reliable and safe access to school. Transportation is also required for students with disabilities and is written into their individual IEPs and their related services, meaning that it's not optional. It has to be provided, and it's part of the student's educational plan. Safety is really the center of everything when it comes to transportation and education in general. If safety is not the core, then you really need to look at that. Buses have to go through regular safety inspections and maintenance to stay in compliance with these state standards. Routes are designed carefully to balance efficiency with safety, and students are expected to load and unload only at appropriate stops. On top of that, most districts treat bus transportation as an extension of their classroom, which means that the student code of conduct also applies on the bus just like it does in school. The amount of student referrals that we got this year alone for bus conduct were pretty appalling, and the cameras on the buses really helped aid in a lot of those behavioral and discipline issues. For field trips and other extracurricular activities, the same safety expectations still apply. Districts require approved bus drivers, proper supervision from staff, and adherence to all transportation safety rules. And the goal is always consistency. Whether a student is going to school or a school event, the expectation is safe and structured transportation. Now, when we talk about bus drivers, Texas has specific requirements. Drivers must attain their commercial driver's license in both passenger and school bus endorsement. That includes written exams, driving tests, meeting both state and federal requirements. They also have to pass the DOT physical exam and go through fingerprinting, background checks, and cleared through the Texas Department of Public Safety. Drug and alcohol testing is required before hiring and continues randomly throughout their employment under federal regulation. Once hired, these drivers are also expected to maintain a clean driving record and complete ongoing training. A personal connection that really brings this into perspective for me is my wife's experience. She is bus certified in her role as a volleyball coach, and she had to go through the same process of getting her Class C CDL, completing rigorous training hours, staying current on her certifications and requirements. And it wasn't just a one-time test. It's consistent training, practice, and accountability to stay qualified and to stay certified. One moment that really stood out for both of us happened on a volleyball tournament when we were traveling back from Central Heights to Nacogdoches on Highway 259, and we came across a crash on the roadway. And we stopped and rendered aid until paramedics arrived. My wife immediately used the training she had received, and we were able to assist safely and effectively using our first aid supplies that were available on the bus. The experience really reinforced for me how important the actual training is, not just for transporting students, but for being prepared for real-world experiences. Now, when you think about the context of student transportation, it connects directly back to our responsibility that bus drivers carry every day. They're not just drivers. They're trained professionals responsible for student safety in situations that can change in an instant. That training, preparation, and ability to respond to emergencies is critical to the part of the job. So overall, student transportation in Texas is highly regulated and safety-driven first. As student leaders, it's important that we understand this because it directly affects the student access, behavior, and safety. And more importantly, it reminds us that transportation is not just about getting students to and from school. It's about making sure that they're safe every step of the way. Thank you.